Good morning, everyone. I came on. Hi, Richard. I just made a fabulous pumpkin spice smoothie that I'm about ready to pour into my glass. And this is a real good. Hi, Earlene. Good to see you. This is a real good. Hi, Richard. This is a good smoothie for Thanksgiving. I found this recipe on the internet, and I decided I was going to make it. Well, it's really past breakfast here, but I was talking to my daughter and was doing other things, so I thought this is going to partly be some of my lunch too. And I want you to see what it looks like. I've got it into this container, and I'm going to pour it into my glass, and you can see how pretty it really is. And it has pumpkin spice. It has all different flavors in it. And it's very simple to make, and I'm going to post the recipe up on YouTube. Let me taste it. Very good. You can taste the pumpkin spice, but that's what's called a pumpkin spice smoothie. This is a different kind of smoothie for Thanksgiving. I'll give you, hi, good to see you. I'll give you what it has in it. It's got a quarter cup of the pumpkin puree. Now that is the 100% pure pumpkin, because you have the pure pumpkin and you also have the pumpkin pie filling. You don't want to buy that because that has all your sugars and everything in it. This is just pure pumpkin. Then it was a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Of course, I use the. Hi, Jamal. Here is my pumpkin spice smoothie that I made, and it's real good. And a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Although everybody knows I have the non-alcoholic vanilla, I do not use the vanilla extract that comes in. Hi, Jamal. Good to see you. I do not use the vanilla extract that you buy in the stores because it has alcohol in it. So I bought the non-alcoholic. And it takes a cup of the unsweetened vanilla almond milk. I didn't have the unsweetened vanilla. All I had was the original. And I thought, well, that's good enough. Because I buy a lot of the original almond milk for my recipe. So I used that. And I took a teaspoon of the pumpkin spice and 2 dates. And they're already pitted. You have put 2 dates in it. A tablespoon of ground flax seed, which really makes it different too. And then 1 frozen banana, which I had already froze some bananas up before. And chopped up the frozen bananas. As you can see, I'll put this down a little bit lower so you can see for people coming in that they want to see my smoothie. Let me just get this down just a little bit. I'm having a little try. There we go. Whoops, without it falling over. Just a little bit. There you can see it. Let me set this up so it doesn't fall over a little bit. Because it wants to fall down. There we go. Now you can see it. I'll have to step back a little bit. But there you can see my smoothie. Well, I don't know yet. I have to decide on that. I really haven't decided. I'm going to put myself back a little bit, then you probably can see me a little better. I really haven't decided yet. I don't know exactly when to do the next one. Probably before too long, but I want to get the holiday out of the way first, Thanksgiving, because I won't be here on Thanksgiving, and I wanted to get that out of the way. Oh, hi, Zay, and hi, Alexis. Good to see you. I made a pumpkin spice smoothie. As you can see, I've already tasted it, but it's very, very good. It's got very few ingredients in it. What's in it? Okay, I'll tell you what's got in it. It's got a quarter cup of the pumpkin puree. Now, that's the 100% pure pumpkin. It's got a teaspoon of vanilla extract, but I use the non-alcoholic vanilla. 1 cup of unsweetened almond milk, although I had the original. I don't have the 1 cup of unsweetened because I don't buy the unsweetened vanilla. And then a teaspoon of the pumpkin spice, 2 dates that are pitted, a tablespoon of ground flax seed, which I keep in the refrigerator, and a frozen banana, which I already had some bananas frozen before because they started getting a little ripe. So I froze them up, and then I just took some pieces and cut it up. And this is actually very, very good. The next thing I'm going to be making that I have a recipe for that I found on, that I don't know if I'll do it later today or I'll do it tomorrow. I might do it more tomorrow. Oh, anybody that makes this will really like it. I think what I'm going to make tomorrow is, in line of Thanksgiving coming on Thursday, I'm going to make a pumpkin a vegan pumpkin cheesecake that I found the recipe for, that I'm going to make that tomorrow. And I know it's going to be very, very good. So I intend to make that. So I'll be looking for that scope tomorrow, because I wanted to probably take that to my son's tomorrow. But I'll have to go to the store first and get some things for it. But it's going to be really good too. Oh, I know, won't it though? And cheesecake is good anyway, but pumpkin cheesecake? Yes, it does sound very good. And I was surprised when I saw the recipe. I thought, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to make this. It's simple enough. Oh, you're going to make, wow, now that sounds good. Sweet potato. Not that I'm a fan of sweet potatoes, but I can learn to like them, I think. I think I'm going to turn my light on. It'll be a little brighter in here. Just a minute. There we go. It's a little brighter. I'm just not a fan of sweet potatoes, although I know you can make sweet potato pie. You can make and one person, instead of making the pumpkin cheesecake, she used the squash. I'm not in favor of squash either, but I found the pumpkin puree at Walmart, and I'm getting some more something to, yeah, I suppose you probably don't. I can imagine, I'm just not a favor of sweet potatoes. I never have liked them that well. But, when I saw that pumpkin cheesecake, and it's a no-bake one too. I just put it in the refrigerator and set it up, or put it in maybe the freezer for a couple hours. Hi, this is a pumpkin spice. The glass I've been touched. I drank some of it. I wanted to taste it. So it's a pumpkin spice smoothie. It didn't take very long to make it. It's very tasty. I thought, well, I wonder if there's a smoothie out there that I can put pumpkin into, because I want to use the pumpkin. And what I've got left in the can, I used a quarter cup of this. I'll just take the rest of that and make it for the pumpkin pie tomorrow, because it calls for a whole can, and a quarter cup isn't going to matter that much anyway. So I'll just use the whole can for the pumpkin cheesecake. And, and like I say, going vegan is the best way to go. Don't fill yourself up with all the chemicals. Look at your ingredients. Hi, Mercedes. Good to see you. Here is my pumpkin spice smoothie that I just made. And it is very, very good. Good to see you. You have to look at your labels in the grocery store. You have to be religious about them, because you don't know what the chemicals are that are in them. Yes, I am. I certainly am. I'm under 200 pounds, and I couldn't be happier. I would have loved to jump up and down when I saw that I was under 200 pounds, but I was afraid that if I landed, I might trip and break my ankle or twist it up. So I didn't jump up and down, but I did put my arms up in the air and say, "Praise the Lord," because I know it's the Lord helping me through this journey. Yes, it has been a struggle. Let me tell you, my weight. I've told you people before. Some of you may know it, some may not know it. That I've been on a roller coaster thing my whole life, where I would go up a few pounds and I'd come down a few pounds. Then I'd go up a few pounds and I'd come down a few pounds. It never stayed consistent. Now it's staying consistent. It may fluctuate a half a pound to a pound, maybe up or down a little bit, but it doesn't stay there. It's continuing to go down. And that proves that I'm doing something right, because I've taken what I used to eat and tossed it completely out. Oh, thank you. That's what everybody keeps telling me, that I look healthier. I can tell it from my waistline that things are fitting better. It's hard for me to see it in my face, although people keep telling me my face is thinner too. It takes a long time to get that way. Yes, I have. I have found what works for me, and what has worked for me can work for anybody. You just have to be diligent and keep at it. Skin. Oh, my skin. I never really paid attention to my skin color. That's what people have been telling me. My skin color is different. You can easily do it. It takes willpower. It takes time too, because you're not going to put it on overnight, and you're certainly not going to take it off overnight. I know I didn't. It took me a long time to put it on, but it's going to seem like it's taken a lot less to take it off. I started at 250 several months ago, and this is before I even started on the plant-based diet. Yeah, you have to be patient, exactly right. And you have to persevere. You have to persevere is right. That's right. You know what? And I am still releasing the toxins. Every day I go 2 or 3 times. you know, and I don't have to explain what that is because everybody should know what that is. But that's a good thing because I'm releasing the toxins in my body. And I'm very religious. When I go to the store, I look at my labels and I see what the labels say about what they have in them, because there's so many chemicals out there that are harmful to your body, and you have to take the time to read the labels. I mean, some of those labels have got, I don't know, a long list of ingredients. I haven't got time to stand there and look at all those ingredients, so I'll just kind of skim it a little bit to see what it's got in it. A lot of them got the MSG. You don't want anything with MSG in it or anything that's genetically modified. We know that you don't want anything that's genetically modified, and that's where a lot of those chemicals come from. So it's best to get organic if you can. However, there are some organic that I have found too that are not true organic. They say they are, but yet they'll put things in them that makes you look at that and say, well, that's not really organic. So you got to be careful of that too. Oh, you had a phone call? Okay, good. When they say organic and non-GMO, you wonder if it really is. You have to really look at the labels on that too. I've had to do the same thing because I've seen some that they say they were vegan, they were organic and non-GMO, but when you got right down to it, they had chemicals in it that you weren't supposed to have, like the carrageenan, which Philip has mentioned that a few times. You don't want anything with carrageenan in. I've had to throw that stuff away. The chemicals in your body are very, very harmful. Do not want to put harmful substances in your body. They're going to do you no good at all. A lot of people don't really pay attention to what goes into their body. They think, well, it looks good, you know, and I'm going to go ahead and eat it. It might look good, and, you know, it might taste good, but is it good going down? That's the point. Sometimes it's not. You know, it's going to give you a nice big belly ache afterwards. So you want to be very, very careful and be very diligent. Thank you. Well, you're so welcome, and thank you for saying so, because I'm here to help other people. If I can help maybe just one person to be healthy, I've accomplished what I've set out to do. It's not hard to do as long as you tell yourself you can do it. You know, I knew that I had to do something. I was constantly overweight. I didn't like the way I looked. I knew that my weight was not where it needed to be, and my clothes were not fitting right, and I'd have to buy bigger clothes. Now I'm going to have to change my wardrobe again because my clothes are real loose on me. You know, not so much that they fall off because they all have elastic, but still, you know, they're loose. And that's a good thing. I intend to keep going too. How far I'll get, I really don't know. But, you know, probably only get so far and then it's going to stop. But I'll take it as far as as God will let me go with it. Thank you. Thank you for saying so. You know, the Vitamix is really a wonderful machine. It does so much, and you could make healthy foods in the Vitamix. I made myself some tomato soup yesterday, which is amazing that you can take a Vitamix and make soup in it. You know, I'd rather make my own soups as to buy them out of the store. There again, the stuff you buy in the store, it's all processed. You don't know what it has in it. You make it yourself. You know what you've put in it. Everything that you put in it is healthy for you. You can count the amount of ingredients, maybe 4, 5, 6 ingredients at the most. But the soups you buy in the store, they've got a long list of ingredients in them, and they're not all good for you either. So you got to be real careful. So I hope that you all take the time to look at the ingredients on your foods that you're going to buy at the store. If it has a lot of ingredients in it, put it back. Don't even buy it, because you know those chemicals are bad for you. And if you can't pronounce them, you certainly don't want to put them in your body. I certainly don't. I'm not going to put anything in my body that I cannot pronounce. No way, because I don't know where they come from or anything. You know, and the thing of it is, like I said the other day, the manufacturers, all they care about is the sales. The bottom line is selling it. So they'll make the packaging look real pretty so that they can sell it. But that doesn't mean anything. The packaging might look pretty, but what's inside is not good for you, especially with all the process it goes through, all the chemicals they put into it. Oh, yes, you will. If you want to have chocolate, if you want to have a chocolate bar or something, make your own out of carob. Carob is what you have. Now I bought some carob powder that I make things out of, and that is better for you than your regular chocolate. In fact, I did make a carob pie. Those that were on here the other day saw that I made a carob pie. I have cut into it, and I will get it out of the refrigerator, and I'll show you what it looks like. this is what the looks like. Now, however, I do realize, and everything is a process, it's a learning curve. Since this is the first time I made this, I decided that next time I make it, I'm going to use less carob because it called for a cup, and I think with carob, it's very good. But I think I could have used less carob than what it called for. So I'm going to make, but like I said, everything's a learning curve. It's a little bit of trial and error. It's the first time I've ever made this, so I wanted to follow the recipe to the letter. Yeah, it is, and I think if I cut it back, because it called for a cup of carob powder, I think if I cut it back to a half or even a fourth, it probably would be a lot better. But it is very, very good, and you can see it came out so nice, and the crust came out good too. It's just, yeah, you have to make things yourself. Take the initiative and make your own foods. You're going to be a lot healthier for it. I know exactly what's in this because I made it myself. I made it from scratch. I've always loved making foods from scratch. Now that I've got the Vitamix, I've done so much. I'm always constantly finding new recipes that I can make something from scratch. It's a lot of fun. Really it is. Just have the ingredients that you need. And of course, a lot of the recipes, you're going to have to tweak them because they may not necessarily have everything in it that you're going to want to eat. Because some people don't like everything that I put in my recipe, so they can tweak it themselves. Like the ones that are not vegan, they will use cocoa powder instead of carrot powder. I told them in the recipe. You can do that too. You have to tweak them to suit yourselves. I've had to do that over and over again with a few recipes because they'll put things in them that I don't like or we can't have, so then I have to make a substitution. Like a lot of the recipes will call for apple cider vinegar. Well, we don't use apple cider vinegar. So what I do, I make a substitution and put lemon juice. Now, if it calls for both, I just leave the apple cider vinegar out and put the lemon juice in. But that's one good way to do it, is find a good substitution for it and use that. Don't put in your body what you're not supposed to have. And that's what I'm trying not to do. You can slip a few times and maybe get something that you're not supposed to have, but then you look back on it and say, now, why did I do that? I've done that before. Now, why did I do that? I can't do that again. So I'm very careful and very religious to make sure that I don't put anything in my body that's going to harm me, because I know if I do that, I'm going to be right back where I was at before. I'll end up gaining the weight all over again. I certainly don't want to do that. I mean, it's taken me a long time to get where I'm at, and I feel real good about that. I'm just thankful that the Lord is keeping me grounded and keeping me on this plant-based diet, if you want to call it that. That's exactly what I'm eating, the fruits and vegetables of the garden, and what you call a health reformer. Let's put it that way. Instead of plant-based, it's a health reformer. And the problem of it is, and it's sad, a lot of the Adventist preachers do not talk enough about health reform. You go to the fellowship meals, and they have desserts on the counter loaded with sugars. They are not good for you, and you know that that they're not good to eat. I won't touch them. When I go to the fellowship meals, I do not touch the desserts because they're loaded with sugar. Unless it's a dessert that I've made and I know what I have in it, I'll take and eat that unless somebody else has got it and eaten it up. But other than that, I don't need that. And a lot of them put a lot of spices in their foods. That's another thing that people do. They put a lot of, like chili powder and stuff like that, and make them so spicy that you can't hardly eat them. And they should warn people that it has that stuff in it. Until you start biting into it, do you realize what it's got in it? So I'm real careful anymore when I go to the fellowship meals that I better know what I'm eating, because I've caught that many times where I bit into something that was so spicy I couldn't eat the rest of it. And I hate to throw things away. No, I don't like spicy foods either. They don't understand the spicy foods are harmful to you. You don't need that. It's upsetting to your stomach. Why do that when you don't need to do it? And I used to make a cottage cheese loaf. I won't even make that anymore because we shouldn't be having cheese. So I won't make that anymore. I will not make my Hershey bar pie. I will not make that anymore because I know that if I'm not going to eat it, I'm not going to make anybody else eat it either. So I'm very careful what I take for desserts. And I'm going to take desserts that are vegan, that I know what's in them, and if people don't want to eat them, well, I'll just bring them back home and eat them myself. But we have to be diligent. And I'm finding that making my own food, I'm a lot better off. I don't have to go out and buy some of that processed foods. We know processed foods aren't good for us. Absolutely not. There's so much that goes into the processing, the chemicals they put in there. And like I said before, the manufacturers really don't care. As long as they can get you to buy it, the packaging looks good and they can get you to buy it, they're going to do it. And people do, unfortunately. And I will admit that I was one of those that did the same thing. I would buy it because the packaging looked good without even regard to what was inside of the product that they made. But we know that a lot of the products, like your chocolate is not good for you. And that was my weakness for years, was chocolate. I don't like the dark chocolate, but I would eat the milk chocolate. Neither one of them are very, very good. So if you want to make anything with chocolate, just use carob powder. And when I made my cookies, I made cookies out of carob chips. That's better for you than going along and putting chocolate in there. Because I'm not going to put something in my body that I know is not good for me. And I don't want anybody else to eat that way either. So if I take cookies to the potluck or anything, it's going to have to be ones that I made that are vegan. You know, you just about have to be careful, you know, and choose wisely at these potlucks. There's so much food out there and it all looks so good, but is it healthy? You know, the problem of it is we don't stress it enough. You know, they talk about being health reformer, but yet they'll put sugar on their tables and eat a lot of things with sugars. They'll use cheese, they'll use milk, they'll use eggs. Can't do that. You can't use any of that stuff. I've given it all up. I don't drink dairy milk anymore. I don't eat cheese. I don't eat meat. I don't need that. I don't need any of that anymore. I make my own. I make my own cheese. I make my own cream cheese. You know, and that's the best thing to do. You make it yourself. You know what you've got in it. You know it's healthy for you. You're not going to get sick from it. You've been trying to go green. Yeah, I know a lot of people are trying to go green. That's a good thing to do too. Although I'm not too much in favor of a green smoothie. People will make green smoothies. Well, I'm not sure I really like a green smoothie all that well. But, you know, I think, and those are just coming in, here is my my pumpkin pie, or pumpkin spice smoothie. That's got pumpkin in it. And it's very, you know, and this is very good. I've tried it. I eat some vegetables. Yes, I do eat vegetables. I eat corn, I eat peas. I eat a lot of vegetables. You know, I buy vegetables in the store and I'll fix them. Asparagus, things like that. I plan on making an asparagus soup someday. I just haven't got around to it yet. I think I'll probably wait till after the holiday now to make an asparagus soup, because with it coming on, you know, I will be fixing for it. My daughter-in-law will, but I want to make my own vegan pie and stuff for that. But I'll take the time to do that maybe next week. But I do want to make that pumpkin cheesecake tomorrow. If I got time to make it, I'm going to come on and make it, because I want to take that to my sons. And I think it'll be very good. I'm hoping that people will like it, because it sure does look good. You know, and it's the same thing. You use the pumpkin puree. And I'm going to intend to give it a try. It's going to be a little bit of a trial and error, and it's going to be a something I've never made before, but I'm sure that I'll do fine, you know. And if I have to tweak the recipe, I'll do it. Oh, doesn't it make you look hungry? But I just eat this sparingly. But I'm going to have to get me another pan like this so I can make one to take to my sons, because this is a copper pan and I love this. See how deep it is? It's a lot better for that. So I'm going to probably go later today or early in the morning to get me another pan so I can make that pumpkin cheesecake tomorrow, because I found the recipe this morning. I printed it out on YouTube, and I'm going to make it because I think it's a very good cheesecake. However, it's probably not one you would eat all year round unless you want pumpkin all year round. It's basically for this time of year, Thanksgiving and the holiday, and you know, some celebrate Christmas, some don't, but they use it then too. So it's whatever you choose to do. Now this carob cheesecake can be all year round. Oh, you want that cake, huh? Yes, it is almonds. It is almonds in the bottom. Yes, I had to grind them up, and there's dates in it as well. I haven't got the recipe right in front of me to tell you what's in it, but I did post it up on YouTube. I did post it up on Facebook so that you could see what it has in it, and that's why I do that, so people that are following me on Facebook can get the recipe too. They can write it down. Oh, you had trouble getting on. Sorry about that, Earlene. I don't know why that happens sometimes. I think Periscope's got a lot of glitches, but, you know. And I just wanted to say, Jamal was here, and we all need to congratulate those that have not seen Jamal's scope from this morning. Watch his scope on the new baby. We need to say congratulations to him on the birth of his baby daughter. It's wonderful that he's now got a baby girl that he can love just with his his three boys. And I'm happy that she finally had that baby. Yes, she is. She is absolutely beautiful. And, you know, I came so close to guessing the time that she was going to be born. You know, I said 10 o'clock and she was born at 10:07. So I don't know how I figured that, but I did. You know, I figured she'd be born last night, but we need to congratulate him. And I hope he posts some pictures of her on Facebook. I'm sure he will. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get ready to post this up on. Yeah, it is. Wasn't that close? Very, very close. Oh, don't worry about it. Your typing is fine. You can't prove it to me that your English is bad. Look at your typing. It's beautiful. Oh, yes, it was. And some people said 1:30 this morning or 11 o'clock last night. You know, people were guessing all different times. But I thought, well, I'll put my 2 cents worth in and say 10 o'clock. Well, I don't know if he did or not. He may have, but it's just like 10 o'clock was in my mind. All day long, that was in my mind. And when he told us to guess the time, I just said 10 o'clock. Maybe the Lord did put that in my mind. But the Lord knew. But you know something? The Lord planned it, that Jamal can go to New York and light up New York with the Great Controversy New York team. So that's wonderful that he'll be able to go, even though she has to stay home with the baby. But he can go and light up New York. We all need to support them on that, too. So I think I'm going to go in a little bit because I want to drink this smoothie, and I also want to post it up on Facebook and YouTube. And like I said, if I don't make that pumpkin cheesecake today, yeah, I think it is. I'll take care of it later. If I don't make that pumpkin cheesecake today, I will make it tomorrow, definitely. I've got to get me another pan for it, and I may not go today, but I may go tomorrow to get it. So I thank you all for coming on and seeing my smoothie that I made, and I hope you all have a great day or night wherever you might be. Take care. God bless, and bye-bye.